So, hello. My heart is so full. I was asked by one of our people, what are you going to speak about today? For today? And I said, whatever God wants to say. Woo. That sounds pretty ominous, doesn't it? And, wow, yesterday was supposed to be filled with taking care of my grandchildren. And normally when I've talked at Circle before, I have spent the whole day writing, trying to figure out what I'm going to say, wanting to say the perfect thing, I don't consider myself a writer, so to write something out is challenging for me. And the reason I think it's challenging for me is because sometimes it feels inauthentic. Because it's like, what am I trying to say? If I'm trying to write it so it's articulately acceptable, what is that all about? What is that all about? So, the space did open yesterday, and I had thought, well, I'm just going to trust. I'm just going to trust that's where I am right now. I'm just going to trust that whatever I am to share today will be shared with you all. Well, my daughter didn't need me yesterday. So it opened that space, as I said, for me to do a little rumination. And I did think, well, it's not really too responsible of me to just show up. To just show up. I should write something. So I did some writing. And so I did some writing. And 8 years ago, I gave a talk for Thanksgiving also. So I thought, shoot, maybe I can just, read that. I'll just do that. That'll make it easy. My intention is to throw it out to all of you because I want to hear from you. But right now, I have decided that I'm going to read some of this that I wrote. Because when I read it again, I felt something in my heart about this day, this Thanksgiving day, that feels different today than it was then. And it brought me back to something I cherished. So I'm going to put my glasses on. And I'll read some of this to you. So what I was saying in this was celebrating this Thanksgiving holiday brings many, many childhood memories to my mind, offering feelings of gratitude. I will just add, when I woke up this morning at 7 and I looked outside and it was, the sun wasn't there, and I thought, oh, this feels like a Thanksgiving week because we would always get snow for Thanksgiving. So I just wanted to throw that one in. So as we all know, November is synonymous with Thanksgiving. So I found myself reminiscing the sweet memories related to this holiday. Our art projects in school and games we played. It was such fun. And you've heard of pin the tail on the donkey. Well, most of you have you? I think, what crowd am I speaking to today? What we did, my teacher, Sister John Thomas, used a colored chalk. She'd draw a large turkey on the blackboard, and we would take turns being blindfolded with chalk in hand, attempting to cut the turkey's head off with a quick slice. You know, when I read this 8 years ago, that didn't upset me at all. But today it's like, really? But it was, you know, and of course, we were cutting that poor turkey up all over the place because we had blindfolds on. So whoever was the closest would win and receive some candy corn or another treasure. So, and we also sang the only song we knew, over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. Now, we never went in my house over the river and through the woods to any grandmother's house. It was in our home, but it was a fun song to sing. And so as I would started to walk home with my 5-block walk, I was feeling the bitter cold against my face. And I didn't care because I knew the next day I would wake up to the smells of fresh baked pies and the 20-pound turkey roasting in the oven. We were a family of 9, so we had a very large turkey. The smells of Thanksgiving, this dinner, permeated the house and added even more warmth to our home. This was a special day, this Thanksgiving in my home for us. Because of someone's generosity, one of the reasons it was special is because of someone's generosity leaving a basket of food. So we could enjoy and have a few extras at our table. And I'm still grateful for that. We were grateful for the bounty of food from this anonymous giver. We never knew who it was. It truly was a day to celebrate. Now, another added gift was sitting at a stress-free dinner table. You see, that was not the norm in our house. My father's daily stops at Evie's Corner for several shots of whiskey and a beer after work made for a meal filled with angry threats and so forth. But on Thanksgiving Day, there were no stops at Evie's, for it was closed on Thanksgiving Day. So this enabled our family to enjoy our meal with one another, stress-free, even sharing jokes and listening to stories my mother so beautifully shared. Let's see what's on this next page. So what I wrote back then was, what am I most grateful for this year? This Thanksgiving time. And as I said in my write-up, this list is many. Wow, and it is so many today. Number 1, I am grateful for each one of you. I am grateful for each one of you. I am grateful to be here at this time, in this life, in this moment. For really, that's all that's real. And what is taking center stage this Thanksgiving holiday as I prepare or get ready for this Thanksgiving Day? Acceptance. Acceptance is taking center stage for me today. Acceptance of what? Well, let's begin with acceptance for what is. Acceptance for what is. The opposite of acceptance is stress, judgment, thinking something should be different than what it is. Just say, well, this is what is. This is what is. And this year, especially, coming to the realization, now I had a little help from someone I listen to every morning, who said, no one needs fixing, healing, or changing. Again and again, I would hear this. Wow, that includes myself. That includes myself. When I step into this acceptance, I feel peace. Acceptance of how I'm showing up. Another thing that was brought to my attention was, shoot, you all chose to be here on this earth plane, to be human. We often hear the phrase, we are a spiritual being having a human experience. Well, we're both. I mean, we did choose to come here. So we're going to experience some of these emotions. And of course, for me, anger, because I lived with that in my house every night. Well, I judge that as a bad thing. And I never allowed myself to feel it. Well, it was there, but it was quiet. So it took a place in my body. And actually, I ended up getting sick because of it when I was 43. I had breast cancer. The gift in that was that I got to examine, wonder why I got this. I'm the youngest of 5 girls. What is different about me? I thought, well, I like peace and harmony. I don't like conflict. So it's really best I be quiet and I just go along with what everyone thinks. And that's okay, because if they're happy and if they get what they want, then I'll have some harmony. I didn't realize I was harming myself. So actually, that was a gift. The breast cancer was a gift because I started to change and become more authentic and showed up. So, okay, this year, authenticity. That's a big one. Authenticity. What does stepping into authenticity, my authentic self, mean? As I said before, I didn't like conflict, so I was a people pleaser. And being a people pleaser, much of my life had provided a crazy comfort zone. And I say crazy. It was a crazy comfort zone for me because harmony and peace is what I longed for. Although I still find comfort in being in a harmonious environment, I now allow myself to come from a more honest and authentic space in my home. And all those I come into contact with. What you see, what you hear, what I say is real. Past history certainly played a role in keeping parts of myself hidden, and the need for approval kept me from showing up. I would imagine that some of you maybe have experienced that, understand what I'm talking about. So could it be that what I most fear, I am longing for? Could it be that what you most fear, you're longing for? Something to ponder, I thought. So how about this? Let's gather up our courage. See, I have my lion here today. Let's gather up our courage and step into a pool of authenticity. And maybe, just maybe, we will uncover a masterpiece. A masterpiece, one that's been waiting and longing to be discovered. Wow, what if? What if? William James says it's only by risking ourselves from one hour to another that we live at all. So as I mentioned, when I was 43, when I found out I had breast cancer and went through all that and my inquiry, I thought, I'm going to start living. I am going to start living. So that was the day, that was my new birthday. That was July 12th, 1990. So that was a new birthday for me. It's so crazy how we try to get acceptance and we need validation from other people that we're okay. So that sometimes keeps us from showing up honestly. Byron Katie says, whatever anyone thinks of me is not my business. When I heard that, that really freed me out. Because I know I'm honest with myself, and I will do the inquiry to say, is this true? The story that somebody may have about me? And as I examine this, as I ask this question, I get in touch with my intention. And I know that if I know what my intention is, it isn't up to me, it isn't up to everyone else to know what my intention is. Again, to be understood. So whatever anyone thinks of me is not my business. That's their business. That's their story. And so here's another gratitude for this year. Self-care and self-love. I was invited into self-care and self-love. And of course, this could be a tag on to authenticity, right? So this year, I've been giving myself, and I'm grateful that I've been giving myself permission, my mouth is starting to stick, to step into that self-care and self-love. You know, I was first introduced to this, oh, thank you very much, this awareness concept in 1990 by an Indian Jesuit priest whose name was Anthony DeMillo. He wrote a book on awareness. And in the book, he's telling a story about how somebody came up to him and said, well, what is the most important thing in life? And he says, awareness, awareness, awareness. And Webster's dictionary says awareness is being aware, having knowledge, and consciousness. I am grateful. I am grateful that I am willing to do the investigation when a situation comes up. Or maybe there's discord, there's not the harmony. To do the investigation and say, what is this all about for me? And wait for the honest answer to emerge. I do really, really think these investigative questions are important to stepping out of victimhood. I lived in that a lot in my life. No more. Now, we are invited to see the light. To see the light we are to ourselves and others. Recognizing maybe we're better than what we know. Go figure. Wow. Of course, if I'm not aware of the truth of me, if I cannot see that I am enough, fear moves in and takes residence. So I am grateful once again to be waking up, to the truth of my being. And as I do, I can also see the truth in you. Love is the answer. Love says, open your arms and fly with me. Love says, you are safe. Love isn't earned. It's always present. It is us. It is who we are. And in remembering who I am, I extend my hand and lovingly ask you to walk with me in freedom, harmony, and peace. Another thing I'm very grateful for is intimacy, true intimacy. I've been experiencing that more and more and more. In my opinion, the most intimate thing any one of us can share with one another is our spiritual journey. To have a friend, an individual, step into that place with me. Wow. I mean, my heart just explodes. And I feel, wow, over the moon, just like, what could be more intimate than that? Just what could be more intimate than that? So I am so grateful for that. You know, as I look back, I don't want to look back. I'm not even going to read that. Nope. What is that doing for us? As Dr. Phil says, how's that working for you? So I am grateful that together we are all stepping into a new age. This is a new earth. Because we are coming to realize that, gosh darn it, we are enough. And you're enough, and you're enough, and you're enough. You're all enough. We don't have to prove anything. We just need to show up and be this love that is who we are, that is dying to come out. Any question I ask myself about this or that, or what do you think, or whatever, there's only one answer, and it's love. I chose that song this morning because that's all there really is. We have just hidden it with our fears and our programming and all that. And you know what? Everyone did the best they could, all those who programmed us. They did a good job. But they were programmed too. So we're all here stepping into the freedom. We're unzipping. We're taking off armor, one piece at a time, and saying, whoa, that feels so free. So here we are together, folks, stepping into another Thanksgiving holiday. And whatever that's going to look like for you, as Mike said, there's sadness for some people because they've lost loved ones. My Thanksgiving has become smaller and smaller, but I am grateful that I have a daughter and son-in-law and 2 grandchildren that are living here, because all the rest of my children live far away, and they will be coming to my house, and however that's going to look, it's going to look. And so, yeah. Okay, I'm going to read this last paragraph. On some level, folks, we've always known that there is something inside us that's sought to be born, to be fresh, to be real. As I said, I feel this longing deep inside me. And when I give myself permission to be still, to be open, and to listen, I can hear that sweet voice calling me home, calling me to step in the truth of who I am, the truth of who you are. And then life becomes an expression of that which is inexpressible, unexplainable, and undefinable. So there you go, folks. That's some of the written word, and some that isn't, some of the old, some of the new. But thank you for being here with me today, and for being willing to listen. And I am grateful for a deeper knowing that we are all connected. We are one soul. And we decided to show up and come here at this time, and together. So I'm clapping for all of you. So I'd like to hear from you all. This was going to be really short, I told Mike. He says, I don't think so. So I would really like to hear from all of you and hear, what did this bring up for you?